Hey there, everyone. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Amber.
We're identical twin sisters from Southern California. While we may look exactly alike, sometimes we think that's all we have in common.
We invite you to grab a cup of coffee
Or a glass of wine.
and hang out with us for a little bit.
This is #Twin Life Podcast. Hello. Hey, twin.
Hello, twin. What's up?
Nothing. Just, basically quarantined here in San Diego, so... But anyways, welcome everybody before we get too deep into it, welcome to the #Twin Life Podcast. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. You are listening to Season 2, Episode 2. So we are chugging right along with this season. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell, and follow us on anywhere you can find podcasts, basically. But so how's your week been? Besides, you told me it's been really cold, so...
Yeah, I mean, my week has been good. I got my Valentine's Day gift early, which was really sweet. I think I posted it on my Instagram. And then it's just been kind of chill. I mean, I got a ton of stuff done. The Super Bowl was this weekend also, so we watched that, which, I mean, so many things happened in 2020, but still Brady still managed to win a Super Bowl, so I guess some things will never change. But other than the Super Bowl, my Did You See has to do with a football player, which is why it kind of connects. Aaron Rodgers, so when he wasn't married, but he has dated two famous women before.
Okay.
Charlene Woodward. So Charlene Woodley, is it Woodley? Charlene Woodley or Woodward? Woodward is my street, so I'm guessing it's not Woodward.
Yeah.
I think it's Woodley, but she was from the Divergent series. If you guys have never seen that series, it's very good. So apparently they're engaged, and no one even knew they were dating. And then all of a sudden they look up and they're engaged. Woodley, yeah, Charlene Woodley. So everybody looked up and they were engaged, and they announced it. Somehow it got announced yesterday, and no one even knew they were dating. So. I guess good for them. Some people were just good for them. Do we care? Do we not care? Are we happy for them? Why wouldn't we be happy for them? It just kind of came out of left field. And being so as involved in the Bachelor world as we are, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a great reputation as a human, just in general.
What was his brother's name?
His brother is one that's married to, remember they had that makeover
Oh,
show.
I remember. I know. Was his name Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Jordan.
I can see his face in my head. He kind of looks like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he does. But they just don't have a good relationship on the show. Apparently Jordan tried to make it seem yeah, JoJo. Is that JoJo's last name Fisher?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, JoJo Fletcher. You're right.
Okay, I'm pretty sure.
So he, I guess on the show when he was on the season, they of course addressed it, the fact that he was Aaron Rodgers' brother. Jordan played in college and didn't do great in college football. And then his brother is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. So, he makes a comment about obviously everybody was wondering, is Aaron going to make a debut on the show? And is Aaron going to be there to support his brother? And he was for sure not. And it was really weird. They never spoke of him. He met his parents, but never talked. It was super strange. So, and all Aaron could say was that he's not a huge fan of The Bachelor and didn't want to be anything near the show. But I don't know. I feel if your sibling is doing something, you should be a part of it. That just seems
a little bit at least
real salty. So, but anyways, Aaron apparently is engaged. Who knows if they'll actually get married, but they're engaged. So that was kind of, I guess, I don't know, in football world news, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Okay, so in honor of Valentine's Day, we are kind of bringing more I don't know, Valentine's type content for this month. So if you guys haven't listened to last week, and hopefully you have, but our episode last week, we talked about Married at First Sight and The Bachelor, which is very centered around love. But this week, we're going to talk about shows that you could binge watch with your person, because I feel you always see those threads on Facebook, what's the next thing I should watch on Netflix? Give me suggestions. So we got some suggestions for you. And yeah, so I think the very first one we have on this list is Altered Carbon.
So good.
It's really hard to explain what that show's about. Like, other people have asked me, like, what's Altered Carbon? I'm like,
I think I can explain it.
Then you explain it.
Okay, so it takes place in a futuristic time, basically post-apocalyptic. Post-apocalyptic. There we go. Time where, I mean, space travel is like a normal thing. It's kind of the time period it takes place in. And humans are no longer confined to their soul. They figured out a way to copy your soul, which is, I mean, basically just copying your memory, but copying your soul into a small disc that gets implanted into the back of your neck when I think you're like, 1 year old or something. They implant this chip that records your whole life and like absorbs your essence, basically.
Yeah.
And when you die, you can get re-sleeved. So there's, of course, like a huge class system where the people, I mean, they start the show off basically where like this little girl dies and her parents pay this as much money as they could to have her re-sleeved. And re-sleeved means they put your chip in another body. Okay. Re-sleeved into an 80-year-old woman's body. And this like dude gets re-sleeved into a chick because hers was 80 years old. She was the cheapest body they could re-sleeve her into.
Yes.
Just like that. And that's like the society they live in. And so the show follows kind of that premise and kind of gives you the backstory of how that came about. You figure out who the scientist is that created it. There's just a lot of really cool things. Season 1 and season 2, the lead, same character played by different actors because he gets re-sleeved in the second season. But if you and your partner like things that are like post-apocalyptic, you know, kind of with like a little bit of magic, you kind of feel like, because the technology is so advanced that it's kind of hard to wrap your brain around it, honestly. Yeah. Then you'll like this show, but definitely check it out. It's on Netflix. Watch the trailer and then watch episode 1 because I don't even think the trailer can explains it at all. It's so good. Blake and I had we binge watched it together during quarantine. It was one of our quarantine shows. Mm-hmm. It's a good show. Yes. Real good show.
That one was a really good one. I was so excited when the second season came out, and the second season was really good too.
So the next one's The Order. It's another like magic based. You guys are gonna first of all get a little bit of insight into the stuff that Ash and I are into by this list.
Yeah.
But The Order is about a world where vampires or werewolves, not even vampires. There's only werewolves, I think. Werewolves and like magic people.
Magicians,
coexist. Yeah.
In this, but
but they coexist in a world. Of course, there's a school where all the magic people go and they learn all their magic. There's a college that they go to, and then there's a secret society called the Order, where you get chosen and with a rose or whatever that you get picked into. So this kid, he goes to this college specifically to be a part of the Order because of the story of his father, and he kind of blames his grandfather blames the Order for the loss of his son, which is the lead character's father. And so we follow him through this journey of learning the truth about his father, falls in love, he learns magic, and he gets, connected inside the Order and becomes kind of a key member to kind of all the things that have come from the Order and the people in it and that stuff.
The Order is in the school, but the school that they go to, the regular people don't know it exists. They don't think it's real. They don't believe in magic, nothing. So
they've heard of it.
Yeah, but they don't know that it's like magic. Like they exist.
Yeah.
They exist inside the school because they keep erasing his memory and everyone's memory every time they see something magical happen.
Yeah.
So they're still trying to like protect. Anyways, that's a really good show. How many seasons? 2, 3? 2?
I think there's going to be a 3.
Yes. Okay. Well, that was a good show, so I'm excited to watch season 3. The next one is literally my favorite. It's Lucifer.
So good.
It is such a good show. It is such a good show to watch because there's just enough romance for it to be like sweet and fun to watch with your partner. It's hilarious. And of course there's a hint of magic. So if you had your head under a rock and you have no idea what Lucifer is, because before it was on regular television, I think it was on Fox. And then it got canceled, and then Netflix picked it up. So Netflix has now done 2 seasons, and Netflix has made it better, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's some restrictions under, you know, main, like, what do they call it? Evening television, that primetime television. There's some restrictions on like what they can and can't do, what they can and can't say. They can't cuss, they can, you know, whatever. So, the character development is a lot better in this next season. So what happened during quarantine was that they shot half of season 5, and then they finished. Then they put it up on Netflix, 5 episodes, and then they're going to put up the next 5 episodes pretty soon. And then I was listening to Nick Viall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was listening to Nick Viall's podcast, and they've already started shooting. They had the woman that plays the therapist. She was on there doing an Ask Nick, and she said that she's actually shooting this season 6 right now. She was going.
Hey, so excited!
Yes.
Blake's gonna be stoked to hear that.
Yes, so I am very excited. I didn't watch Lucifer with Derek because I was way too in it, and like it's hard to binge watch things with him because I don't like to wait, you know. So, but we did watch, like, I think we watched 1 or 2 seasons together. It's a really good show. Totally suggest it. It's hilarious. Like, it's a great show to watch with your person. It's just such a good show. Okay, you want to do the next one, Twin?
Yeah, the next one I put on here is something that I'm watching now, which is Bones, which is super good. So if you're okay, so yes, Bones is a commitment because it's as many seasons, almost as many seasons as SVU. But Bones is way more lighthearted, but a lot more gory than SVU. So if you have partners that are kind of that are into anything like doctor shows, or this is more like less
CSI-ish.
Yeah, it's CSI-ish, where like every episode they, you know, somebody dies and they use the bones and the guts and everything to figure out how they died and who killed them. And the cast is super interesting. There's definitely funny moments. The actors are awesome. The lead actress is actually Zooey Deschanel's sister. Emily Deschanel. So it's a really good show. It's a commitment though. It's like 20 seasons or something. So y'all you strap in for that one. That's a good long, if you're trying to figure out what to watch in the next couple weeks, where we're like over here in the Midwest, we're about to have snow and ice for days. So strap in, hot cup of hot chocolate and some bones.
Okay. So the next one is, Game of Thrones.
Of course.
This one's controversial because I watched it with that was like a prerequisite to us dating. Like, he literally was like, the first time he like wanted me to come over and hang out with him and his roommates, they were watching Game of Thrones, and I'd known a Game of Thrones, but I was just like, it's not my vibes. I felt like it was stressful for me because whenever I went on like Facebook, people were like upset because somebody else died, and I was just like, why do people watch this? Why are you so invested in this show? And like, they just keep killing off your favorite people. I'm so confused. And then I watched it, and then I understood. I am not quite as obsessed with Game of Thrones as some other people might be. I would not even call myself obsessed. Derek's watched the show through multiple times. I know other people who've watched the show
no, that's not me.
through. It's a short
Once through is good.
It's a short watch because HBO, so it's like 8 episodes, 7 seasons. That's pretty quick compared to Bones. It's like 20 episodes, 12 seasons. So you could get through Game of Thrones really quick. Disclaimer, that show is very gory and very violent and very messed up.
Sexual and, and dark.
All the things. So if you're a parent, that's not a show most people know Game of Thrones.
First of all, if you've never watched Game of Thrones, and if you've never heard of Game of Thrones, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, how have you missed it? But second, if you're a person, it's not something to watch in front of your kids. It's definitely something, if your partner is like, you know, squeamish, or it's awkward for you to watch boobs with your parents, like, just, you know, keep that in mind when you're watching the show. Yeah. It's gonna have some weird moments. It definitely had some fast forward moments for me over the seasons.
Yeah, there's some episodes,
but it is very good.
Since Derek had already seen parts of it, it was helpful because when he'd seen the whole show by the time I was caught up. So and then we watched the season 7 together. So we caught up and then watched the last season together. But there was definitely some scenes where he was like, so you're not going to want to watch this part. And I was like, okay. And I would just close my eyes. I was like, is it relevant to the story? And he was like, no. He's like, I mean, kind of, but it's like, I can tell you what happened and you'll be fine. I'm like, okay. So I would just like close my eyes. Like the there's anyways. So the red wedding
I
is
guess
crazy.
we don't.
Yeah,
the red wedding.
Yeah, we won't give any spoilers, but definitely good show, well written. Acting is freaking amazing. Very powerful female characters that come through some crazy stuff in the show. Just a lot of other things. It's not just all sex, violence, and gore. It's definitely, you get attached to the characters in a very strong
Actually, so much
way.
so that they named their dog after Sansa. So
yes, my dog.
there you
Our
go.
dog's name is Sansa. So, Game of Thrones. And I bought Derek for his birthday a couple years ago. I bought him like Scotch glasses that has like a decanter, and like each one of the glasses is one of the houses of Game of Thrones. So yeah, we're big fans over here. Okay. See.
It's actually been marked on my list because I've just heard so much about it, but I've still never watched it. So
yeah,
take the time to watch one episode, and we'll let you guys know what we think when we check it out.
Yep. Okay.
The next one is Stranger Things.
This is a duh.
Just so good. If you guys have never seen Stranger Things, what are you doing with your life and time? Because it's so good.
Oh my God, so good.
The show is okay. Here's one thing. You can't miss anything when you watch Stranger Things because you will be lost instantly. So you have to watch it.
Game of Thrones.
Same with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But Game of Thrones is slower because Game of Thrones, they go through each house and then they'll tell, every 4 episodes, they'll get back to 4 episodes before. You know what I mean? You're like, wait, what happened to blah, blah, blah? 4 episodes later. Oh, here's the final part of that story. Okay. And the next, Game of Thrones moves kind of slow. Stranger Things is not. It's a Netflix show. It moves quick, like a Netflix show.
Yeah.
But it's a great show. It's about, and even though the cast is children, it is definitely not like a little kid's show.
No.
It's dark.
It's scary.
Yeah, it's dark. It's pretty scary. But it is awesome. It takes place in the 1980s. The kid, if you've never heard of the show, what are you doing with your life? But the premise of the show is that basically these kids, they're best friends. They go out one evening. One of their best friends goes missing. He gets trapped in what they call the Upside Down, which is basically the parallel dark world between our world and the I don't know, great beyond. I don't even know how to describe it, which actually turns out to be a zipper between an alien kind of plane and the real world. Super confusing, but it's so good. The characters are hilarious. The acting is super funny. Even Winona Ryder is good in it, and it had been a long time since I'd seen her do anything. So definitely pretty creepy, but it's very, very good. You guys should definitely check that out if you have not already. 2 seasons. Season 3 will be coming for Stranger Things also.
Woo!
So watch that.
So the next show is Bridgerton. I've now talked 2 people into watching this show and have not a single complaint. So
who did you talk into watching it?
Mom watched it. She watched the whole season, and Mom doesn't have time for things. So the fact that she watched the whole season show tells you something. And then my trainer Jessie, she spent her days off watching it back to back. Her and her husband just went through straight 8 episodes in 2 days. So really good show. The production company behind Bridgerton is also the production company behind everything that most people watch. So Scandal, and the infamous Grey's Anatomy. So it's a production company called Shondaland. Shonda Rhimes, she's an amazing producer, creator of a bunch of shows that have been on forever and are just amazing. So she created this series that got picked up by Netflix, and it takes place in Amber's favorite time period in the 18th century. But the twist is that obviously in the 18th century in London and in the US, there were not black people. Black people were enslaved. So
yeah, there were no people of color in
any Jane Austen books,
any lords or there were no people of royal or higher levels in society of color at all. So
yes. So that's a twist, is that it takes place in that time period, but in this time period, the King James marries a black woman, and in the process of marrying her, all people of color were given the same rights as everyone else. so the story circles around this black guy who is a duke, a very handsome duke, and this girl who are courting each other. And they basically start off by saying, oh, we're going to date, but we're just going to date until she finds somebody that she can really be with, because she has no interest in being with him. And he's like, well, I have no interest in getting married, so that's perfect. People will get off my back for not getting married, and people will get off your back for like trying to push you into a relationship, and also make it so that you're more men will want to pursue you because you already have a guy that wants you. So it must be like, oh, what's so great about her? So that's what it starts off to be about them. Then we discover a ghostwriter named named Whistledown, who is voiced by Julie Andrews. You have no idea who Whistledown is. She's just this mysterious writer who basically writes a TMZ based kind of magazine, newspaper that comes out every so often, and just drags people. The queen and everybody. So everybody is kind of like, okay, what's Whistledown gonna say? And she puts everyone's business out there.
It's got like kind of a Gossip Girl vibe.
It definitely has Gossip Girl vibes. That's a great example. Yes, because at Gossip Girl, she's always commentating over the whole show. Or what was the show with A that you watched?
Oh, Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah, it's got those vibes. So good. So good. The only thing that people have been saying is that once you get to like episode 4 or 5, the sex scenes get really uncomfortable. Like worse than Game of Thrones uncomfortable. Like you have to like, you kind of have to I fast forwarded because I was like, there's no point. It's not adding to the story. Like, why are we watching this? Like, it's literally no point. So I hope they tone that down. I think that they've said already there's going to be a season 2. So in season 2, they could tone the sex down a little bit, but the storyline is really good. So, yeah, I'm so surprised you haven't watched it. You need to watch the show, Dwayne.
I will do my best to. I need to apparently watch Ozark. I need to watch Bridgerton. I did, however, make time to watch Virgin River, which is our last one, which is a lovely show. It's wholesome. Such a sweet show. It's wholesome. It's got a fantastic like story. It's based on this. The story is about this girl, this woman. Okay, honestly, I'm going to give you guys like a teeny bit, and then you got to go watch it, because I don't want to if I give too much away, then it takes away from the suspense of like the first 3 episodes, because her story kind of, you figure out what happened to her. So basically this woman, she experiences this major trauma in her life. And so she's a doctor or a nurse practitioner in LA. She packs everything up and she moves to Northern California to a town called Virgin River. She accepted a job to work as a nurse with this doctor. That's like an older doctor. He's like in his 70s. And, he needs a nurse.
A nurse practitioner and midwife.
Need a nurse practitioner and midwife. So she goes up there to Virgin River and she helps him, and she meets this guy who owns the bar down the street, who she becomes really good friends with. And like, so she makes all these friendships, and you kind of uncover what this trauma was that she experienced and how she deals with it. It's got just the wholesome vibe of like a small town, cute, like small town show. So it's definitely family friendly, adorable, opposite of the last few shows that everything else we've talked about, but it's so good. If you guys want something that's going to make you feel good, make you cry a little, you guys need to watch Virgin River.
Yes.
So good. But I think, did I get all of them? Is that all of them, Twin?
Yes, that's all of them.
Okay. Did you have if you guys watch any of these, like any of these, or have any other shows that you guys want us to check out, please let us know. Leave us a comment, or, drop us a DM, whatever you guys want to do, and let us know what you guys think of these shows that we named. Cause we like them. So hopefully you guys do too. Did you have a Go Girl and No Girl?
So my Go Girl this week was that, and I told you this already kind of in passing, but we went and we bought Phoenix a laundry basket for his room. And we were just like, okay, buddy, this is your laundry basket. It has like a dinosaur on it. So it kind of goes with his like dinosaur themed room right now situation. Yeah, situation that he has going. It's not a Jurassic Park one, but it just like got a dinosaur on it. So like I bring him home from school. He goes upstairs to do something, and I'm like changing him the laundry, and he just comes downstairs with his laundry basket and just like brings it to me in the laundry room and is like, okay, Mom, here's the laundry. And I'm like, okay. There's like 3 things in there. But I was like, that is so sweet. So he's like, because I kind of lectured him the other day because I was like, Phoenix, you need to help me do the laundry, buddy. Like, you don't even have to do the hard part. Just hang it up. Like, it's folded, everything. Like, he's like, well, I can't do, he's like, laundry's so boring. I was like, I know, but I do laundry every single day so that you and Daddy and me can have clean clothes, you know? And so I sort of like gave him a lecture. So now he's like kind of being like, you know, Mr. Helper with the laundry. So it was so sweet. I was like so excited that like he helped me. Yeah. But what's yours?
I told Blake that I wanted to in our house. I want to make sure that the shelving in Landon's closet is low enough so that he can put his own clothes away. So we're definitely going to make sure we build out like a toddler-ish height closet in there. Yeah, for him. Mine. I feel like I had one. Oh, mine is that I bought Landon a bunch of arts and crafts stuff that comes tomorrow, and I'm so excited.
Hey!
So I've been doing I bought him a bunch of before we started recording the podcast, I bought him 3 puzzles. I bought him a bunch of activity books. Like, I'm really trying to get his brain in school mode. And Landon really is he just picks up things so quickly. Like, he is talking like crazy. So, and I honestly it's getting super cold here. There's not going to be a whole lot for us to do in the next couple of weeks. I have to start getting into what do Midwestern people do when it's 10 degrees outside. I'm guessing they do arts and crafts when their kids are home. So I ordered a bunch. So I ordered one that's like a dinosaur painting thing. I ordered the biggest, it's like a huge Crayola set. It has all Crayola things like crayons, markers, color pencils, like all the Crayola stuff and coloring pages. So that'll come tomorrow. So I'm very excited about that. So I'm just really trying to at home, do things with Landon at home, because if I don't, then he doesn't take naps and he's super bored and
Yeah.
So until he's in school, I have to figure out how to occupy he and I's time and us doing things that are fun together. So hopefully these next few crafts will keep us busy for, the next few weeks or, cause we'll start him in school in April. So
yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, excited about that.
All right.
Anyways.
Yeah,
we got the podcast recorded, Twin. I'm so happy.
Yes, we did. Sometimes it's an adventure with trying to get coordinate nap times and everything, but we're getting it done. Yeah. So, but on that note, thank you guys so much for listening. We've said before, we love doing this. If you haven't already, please just check the description box to see where you can find us on all of our social media platforms. And we will talk to you guys next week.
Yay!
Yay! All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.